which tied in with what they were doing. So I ended up having like, you know, top DJs playing my stuff. So for a while I was like, you know, just famous over there, just regular over here, so can still go to Tesco's, no problem. So yeah, I've been making music as Dominic since 2012. Before that I had lots of different names, different aliases, and you know, when I did my I did production for a hip-hop group called New Flesh, who was signed with Big Dada. I was just as Dominic Nelson Ashley on that production. So it's only from 2012 onwards that I had that particular name, Dominic. What else have I done?
Are you purposely avoiding talking about your poetry?
I'm coming to that.
You're coming to that.
I'm coming to that because you said creativity, so I'm doing the music. You're trying to rush me. You're trying to rush me. What? Step back, girl. Step back.
I'm not trying to blur your art forms, man.
Come to the poetry right now. Because you can't have the poetry without the music. In fact, I got told this morning that there's musicality in my poetry. They said, how is that so? I told them I'm a musician first. How did the poetry come about? The poetry came about because I have a son who's now 21 actually, and he's studying medicine. And in his first year, he got tonsillitis, and he was really, really sick. And he was like a fairly, I wouldn't say he was a chubby guy, well, well-built guy, and he got thinner and thinner and thinner. He had glandular fever, and he was taking all kind of medication to just get himself through the year. Because he said, like, if his grades dropped, or he took any time off, he'd have to repeat the year. Didn't want to repeat the year. It was so hard enough to get him onto the course in the first place. You don't know everything we went through. It's like, okay, these grades, these are this level of grades, remarking stuff, tutors, special courses to get on, just, you know. And the thing with that medicine is like, you know, that a lot of people reach the level, but they don't take everybody. So, you know, you worked really hard to get on, and then, you know, with the glandular fever, you just had to power through. So what happened is that he had an operation in London to remove his tonsils, and I went down for that, and on the way back, it bled, said to go back in, and then he came back up, and basically, to cut a long story short, he was in and out hospital like 5 times in like 2 weeks. So his mum and our daughter, they went on holiday. It was just me and him. So I wanted to capture the time I had with me and him. And also, at that time, I'm going to start having a sec. Right. Because at that age, right, at the same age, my cousin killed himself. So it was like, okay, all them feelings coming back, like he's getting thinner and thinner and thinner, he's ill. Same age, my cousin killed himself. So it's like, okay. So I started thinking about my own mortality. There was a case of like, okay, if I passed away tomorrow, what could I leave him as almost like a manual of like, okay, this is my life, this is what I did, right? This is my stepping stones, this is my ups and my downs. Learn from this. So that's why I started doing the poetry. So it's truly came from that. And then I discovered I had like a poetic voice. So then it's a case of like, okay, I continue with the poetry, because it's a case of music, there's so many things you can do with music. You know, I've been doing music since I was, 16. There are, I don't want to write another 3-minute love song. I don't want to write a 5-minute love song. I'm a madman. I'm not trying to pull nobody. You know what I mean? So with poetry, that gives you a certain freedom. Yeah, you can get across a point with a inflection of words. Yeah, and that also tied into the performance aspect, because I like to perform. But if you're not in a band, how do you get that performance element? So doing poetry combines those two things that I love. Well, I get a message across, the performance aspect, and there is musicality in the writing. Yeah, so it all stems from my son being sick. He's better now, eating me out house and home. But that's where the poetry started, and the next poetry collection I did was about male mental health. Like I said, my cousin killed himself, so I then thought okay, I have a platform now. I have a particular skill set, and we live in Middlesbrough, which has the highest male suicide rate going for young people. So, and as someone who's worked with a lot of young people, I've worked in over 60 schools in the area, so I've seen a lot of things. People tell me a lot of things. I thought, okay, with that knowledge that I have, that knowledge base, I could put that information in a form that people can utilize in their own time. Because some people, they're not going to go to counselling. Maybe don't show their vulnerability. They don't go like, yeah, right, I'm feeling sad today. No, they'll go and have a few pints, might take some drugs, or keep it bottled up inside, and then before you know it, they've done something stupid. Like a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So if my aspect is like, okay, if I write something, then people can men can read it and go like, oh yeah, that's me, and they sort myself out. Or their mates go to them, that's you, sort yourself out. Or their partners or their, female friends are like, hey, I read this book. Oh yeah, this looks a bit like you. What do you think? So that's where the second one came from. And then, I've written more and more and more. I cover a whole range of things. I do some funny ones, some love ones. Okay. So that is where the poetry comes from. And I'm on the poetry tip right now. I do more writing than I do music right now. But, after 26 albums, I go like, you know what? Does somebody really need another album from me? Yes, I've got another one coming out next month. But yeah, I'm still doing the poetry, still doing the writing, working on a crime novel. I'm not as behind the scenes as I used to be, because sometimes I think, okay, I've done my bit, it's time to give space for others to do. But there's almost like a parallel universe here, because what I haven't talked about is the creativity in the BME community, which I straddle both worlds. So, maybe, I don't know how many black people you've interviewed, but there's a thing called Taste of Africa at the town hall, which happens every year, and we pack it out. And I started it up with a friend of mine 16 years ago, because we thought it would be a good idea to showcase the BME talent in the area and bring in BME artists from outside because this is the Northeast, they don't get to see a lot of it. That's it.
You are my first black interviewee,
okay.
as you might have guessed.
Don't know.
This is kind of how
I'm making no assumptions. I'm just chatting.
It's been really interesting. It's like I haven't naturally sought out any kind of demographic.
Yeah, it's just who's about.
It's been interesting to see how it's unfolded.
Yeah.
I have a really amazing gender balance, which I'm really pleased with.
Yeah.
Race balance, not so much.
It's me.
It's you.
Most of the places I go to, creative places I go to, it is me and one other, and then the one other always changes.
And also there's Sarah Zafar, who has been my only Muslim interviewee. I don't know whether that's because I've just met
Could
less.
Be. Well,
less. I've met predominantly white people.
Yeah. Which has just reminded me of something I've missed, right? As I said, I don't do as much behind the scenes anymore. I'm doing one thing behind the scenes. I'm putting an anthology together of BME writers in the Northeast.
So you can give me some context.
So that's coming. That should be coming out next year. So I'm at the stage of sending off emails to lots of people who I've bumped into, who've been to the diverse events, etc. And okay, I'm doing this anthology. All you have to do is send it, that's it. Write it, send it. I've got an editor lined up, got somebody to do the cover and all that kind of business. It'll help elevate you. Simple as that. But we'll see what happens.
Brilliant. Well, I hope that comes together.
You've got to throw it in. If you don't throw it in...
Well, you seem to be throwing lots in, mate, and it's I mean, I've been overwhelmed to see the levels of enthusiasm and positivity at the moment, and the excitement that's building, and the hope that there's kind of funding coming in to back up. You know, you've clearly been putting so much time, energy and effort in for like a long time in the scene here.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of people that are that way, and I just find it really heartening. And I think it gives us a really good chance of getting a successful City of Culture bid, but also in the meantime, with money coming in anyway, even if we don't win it, which we will, obviously. It's just really fantastic time to be part of the arts in Teesside, and it's kind of, doing this is an honour for me, really, going out and being able to talk to people, because there's stuff that I didn't know that you'd done. That's fantastic. So this is my longest interview so far.
Well, you know,
have you got anything else?
I give value.
I know that you've got too many hands, pies everywhere.
Maybe you can split it into two, the music and the poetry, maybe it's 2 films. Who knows?
Would you like to tell me anything else before we're done?
What?
Would you like to tell me anything else?
Right, okay. Many moons ago, I used to do, I had ballroom dancing lessons.
Brilliant.
But don't ask me to do anything now, because like...
Go on, we want to see a little ballroom with rap.
Hey, do you want to see a foxtrot? Is that what you...
Go on,
foxtrot. It ain't happening.
Foxtrot across the camera and then we're done.
I got a bad leg.
It has been a pleasure.
As always.
Thank you very much.